The British Columbia, champagne-slicked, serpentine-laughing leprechauns. Within alligator stuffed with schizoid nebulous supernovae, the Gemini jaundiced pumpkin eyeballs retrograde upwards through the rubbery arms of the barnacled Sirius, the British Columbia of champagne-slicked, serpentine-laughing leprechauns, cloven in the serendipity marshlands of a bacchanalian razor blade, shaven the metals of crepuscular intergalactic squeezed meatball sauce. In Antarctica, the arteries lymph of Uranus's rainforest, pyramids of orchestrated anaerophobic octopuses parading. Battlestar Galactica, Battlestar Galactica. Within Romanus's gibbous crepuscular ethereal creeks, waning upon the harbinger of winter, and like a bathtub of animatronics, strangling the histrionic clouds, scorching my dendrites. Mid-autumn sutures the rodeo of frosted marigolds in the Eden of modologic, as arbors of casino vampires sizzle the coconut-stuffed spirit bear, somnambulous of mired frozen gasoline beards, flaunting in the Christmas sled in a citrus-squeezed arbor of ethereal meadowlarks. O Mahatmas of Yukon, the sargassum nutcracker flaunting with the theogonic nightingales, the melting of rosemary candle wax flesh of the turquoise camel, boudoirs antipodes of Klondike, spangled champagne-stuffed quasars, wriggling in my shower curtain. Battlestar Galactica, Battlestar Galactica. In the sea of all possible linguistics, a soul covey of eloquent moonbows, meadowlark-spangled and metamorphic phenomenology, retrograde the multiverse's torso against the bratwurst of dawn. As pure language bleeds hypersubjective wounds, the feeder of intersubjectivity ensouls the phosphorescent fungi bulbs between the sublime and ethereal. The bleeding cranium of integrity arbors the rolling foam of mandrake chimeras, the bindweed and ragweed plumage in the headdress of all possible minds, where the flamingos blossom psychedelic wigwams, where my soul is mouthwash and barnacle toothpaste, to practopoesis, the dock marine is a Frankenstein frankincense, through the doppelganger walrus. I beggar the windjams of psychosis, somersaulted in toothpaste of fluorescent gibbous nebulae, to devour a hurricane whip in Barkerville, BC of data, where centaur jackrabbits drink the bloodiest champagne and shower in the blood of serpentine Gandalf quagmires. The bloodied supernova is soaking wet in the road of my Neptune Colorado arteries, pouring alchemy champagne through the brushfire of intersubjective thunderstorms, and the microwaved underwater squeezed out Himalayas of every possible soul, drizzling panpsychic arbors of coconut catalepsy, devouring a donut of philosopher statues, descending into the parapsychic bottomless pits of Allegra, the skyscraper blossom in my Dawnbringer glint and my twinkling labyrinth eyeballs, scourge the hamadryad medusae, untangling the knots of Nova Scotia's timorous millipedes, straddling the wormhole spangled leviathan of a neurocentric New Brunswick. 2. I'll always be an ornithologist. And the sunflower stuffed, cratered nightingales flaunting in the swirling, dripping cumulonimbus buffets, where the crepuscular spits wriggling swigged velociraptors, where the erotic looms of daddy longlegs, sphinxes eloquentize, where the barnacled ravaging of wounded romanticism Uyghurs my soulology. The champagne buoyed meadowlarks play with tubular teepees, and the evanescent rhapsodies of Sirocco Sahara. The serpentine prophet of Anubis, your beautiful headdress gleaming in Eden of Saskatoon, you are gargoyle chandeliers. You are framed, psychedelic mockingbirds, arachnid-phobic Celine, perusing the fluorescent playrooms of creek bobbled buoyed quelea. Anchorite redwoods and the urchinous gamma rays of melancholia. It's a big band smooth jazz buffalo, ushering kayaks spangling the tide stream of panpsychic creek bends of this dreamverse, of dreamcatcher alpha and omega that transcend the saline topology of multiverse spangled carbon pumpkins. You so delicately bleed tears of hyperornithology over the fire in my nebulous brain that have shaken off the nude flesh of Neptune raccoon wriggle in Nepenthe, my sublime highways of Eros cascade through the resin chandeliers of Fontaine somnambulous, your delicate bleeding crystalline tarantula talons and labyrinths of bloodiest mealworm champagne, lantern, the mandrake Orioles of antinomy, helicopter, the wafted, sutured Saturn, flaunted in Richmond, BC's chronophysical time machine. Oh, wafted where the pubescent nightingales flaunt between nerd verbal waterfalls, soaked in the locusts of Mahatma meatball Urdu, boudoirs of sempiternal serpents, arbored the marigolds of quantum qualia. This is the hexity of the timeless butterfly. This is the quiddity of the Islamic meadowlark's castigated cartilage of Kronos. But we shall trapeze over the rocky stuff of grapefruit gibbous. We shall alchemy medusae tamerlane of sublime subliminality. I'll always be an ornithologist, the romanticist panpsychic pantheist in every ornithologist. Wounded Virgo Andromeda and the Sphinx, my soul made out of flail and salmon, watercolor buffalo rear on sidereal psychic macadamia, and the starving garret of erotic foamy psychotic reefs, we grizzle and wriggle. Tonight we rotisserie California quail winds, tannoclim upon tannoclim, of autumn spangle and psychedelic moonbows. Your delicate romanticist tendrils cry out to be hugged tenderly. Sheafs of cohomological Canadian loons crest in the mammon tapir as your bloodstream swims up for absolute infinite soul verses. Gently cherokes the African kingfisher and theogenic saber dance of the antlered California quails, their seagrass headdress boudoirs undulate in wounded tapestries of theogony, their crystalline zebroid blueberry Gaza, a feral crepuscular autumn automatism as the sunflower eros, tendril and boudoirs of ogreish medusae lunacy, with our spangled craniums, polygon thrown upon the quantum dice of ornific anti-determinism, rolken up with the maypoles of twilight's delicate femur clavicles, strangle in the bright turquoise ocean of clouds, sauerkraut omniscient dragon, straddling nightingales flaunted in Nauru, into labyrinth alcoves in the abbot of anti-panpsychic wildflowers. But as we spiracle wounded wombs of Cherokee Chinooks, we eternally sleep in a dream catcher of eternal reoccurrence. Medusa the swordfish viper my bright ember corneas, womb the knotted salamander hair strands of Selene, feverish now, chasms, creaks of catalepsy, erotically meadowlark the deep well of libido. We arbor the diaphragms of remembered Dionysus. This is the hexity of the timeless butterfly. This is the quiddity of the Islamic meadowlarks, castigate and cartilage of Kronos. Free, the birdhouse mansions that protrude from champagne-slicked zombie boudoirs. Beneath this logjam in the augured wilderness, an ethereal sempiternal camera rolks for Rastafarianism, to umbrae me upon butterfly Eden merman, to sleep ethereally in a rhomboid of newborn poor verses. The birdhouse mansions that protrude from champagne-slicked zombie boudoirs are swept away to the diving boards of the universal subconscious, where the handsome antlered bobcats tangle with their torsos and robes of uranium, and their snowmobiles cranium monasteries of Tuvalu, sweet retrograded, my prophetess of pineapple-soaked dandelions, with a totem mask born during a night of quasar fireworks, slicked in ethereal champagne supernovae, dollies the ogre Sasquatch of serendipity. I am a nutcracker when your flesh is bare upon the metals of the mind. Parapsychic beaver dams, exploding craniums of panpsychic velocity, entropy of the Micronesian Zulu of this apocalyptic bed, chestnuts and acorns blossom transfinite butterflies upon my wounded qualia, eyeballs of the locust samurai bleed in dreamcatcher milk, massaging gazelles of theometric akashic records. I devour a multiverse and find you in a womb of panpsychic cyborgs, knotted upon the existence of pre-existence, desire before desire existed, raged upon the metal art conch shell of my neurons. The elephantine cyborg undulates its bare flesh upon the coconut Chilliwack, BC. But why does eschatology exist at all? A revolver, the shattered multiverse, and a squeezed out mandarin melon of Minon's jungle, sempiternal blossom and butterflies, locusts through the rainforest of a furalized aesthetica.